proceed to presidentially blow up. I'm switching lanes and sipping drink, the music up, my speakers bang, she knows the fuck I hit the blunt, and I forgot to show up.
And welcome back to another episode of The Perspective Podcast, NBA edition, NBA round number 2 is what we have here. I got my co-host Tevin in the building tonight. Tevin, what it do?
Cool and big cool, man.
How you enjoyed that first round, bro?
First round, so had some interesting matchups. Over kind of fast, kind of like how we predicted. So, but it was some of the matchups was real good. Some of them, we already kind of knew what it was, but yeah. It is what it is.
As long as Utah's not playing basketball anymore, like I'm cool. Like I'm Gucci. Like
they got cheated, bro. The rest was called cheating. Yeah, rest they cheating. I saw a lot of uncalled calls. That's all I'm gonna say.
For sure. Anyway, well, I'm happy I'm not seeing Utah play any more basketball, but it is on to round 2 of the NBA playoffs. Today is actually game 2 of Milwaukee and Boston, and game 2 of Golden State and Memphis. But first, before we go ahead and deep dive into our round 2, we're just going to kind of recap everything that happened in round 1. In a shocking turn of events, it ended up being a sweep. The Celtics in Brooklyn. And I think that was the only sweep of the first round, like if I remember correctly.
Only sweep.
And it was wow. And I had that one going 7. Shows how much I know about basketball, huh?
I think I said 6 or 5. I think I said 5.
Yeah, I think you did say 5. But so yeah, we got the Celtics ended up in really dominating fashion. I think game 1 was really the only real close one, and that's the game when Kyrie kind of he did his thing. So we got sweep action. Boston over Brooklyn. I personally thought that it was a masterful performance of defense by Boston, and especially, and they have the defensive player of the year, and maybe even 2 more guys that are on that list. So, nonetheless, it was a dominating performance. How'd you feel about that matchup and how that all went down?
Well, I was wrong. I remember I picked Boston 4-2, but I said if they had Rob from the start, it would have been 4-1. Because I just feel like the Celtics were a more better team, a complete team over Brooklyn. Brooklyn relied on 2 players that do kind of similar stuff on the court, and so that had caused a lot of problems for them as far as just basketball wise. And then like, especially with Steve Nash too, the type of coach he is, like he ain't got the plays or the strategy to put together a lineup that can be effective against Boston. And Boston just brought it to him, really. I give all credit to Boston because they came out physical. Durant wasn't getting nothing in the lane. Kyrie wasn't getting nothing in the lane. They bigs too sorry to score in the lane. So that's lockdown right there. And Boston, Tatum and Brown just played both sides of the floor beautifully. Marcus Smart ain't turn the ball over crazy. He becoming a better point guard, and Boston just was, to me, they were just the better team won, honestly.
Yeah, dominating fashion. Like Boston went in to Brooklyn, and it was really like no competition because Rob actually came back like game 3. Am I right?
I want to say 2.
And I mean, regardless, he definitely
3 for sure. I want to say, but I think 2.
He definitely just added to the defensive mix, and it was like he was in tune with the game plan the entire time while he was out. So, and I mean, that just shows the mark of somebody that's like locked in, and you want a team like that is locked in. So, congrats to Boston. They moved on. We'll get into that round 2 matchup in just a moment, but we got some things here, some topics as you got here on this list. We got KD's performance, his legacy. Is how are we feeling about K's legacy right here currently at this point in time?
It's a blemish. I ain't gonna say it's a knock, but it's a blemish on his legacy because we saw we didn't get to see what we saw what he can do when his team is limited as far as talent wise. I mean, he had Kyrie. That was really it. So we had to see what could KD do to be the better overall team. Because if you ask anybody, I'm pretty sure 99 out of 100 people on the planet would say he was the best player on the court. But he didn't perform like the best player, especially his shooting. His shooting numbers were terrible the whole series. That's because he was Jason Tatum and the whole team was getting physical with him.
Yeah, they harassed him.
Yeah, and I think if this series shows some holes in his game that I think we kind of overlooked because of the shooting ability and the scoring ability from the perimeter. But when he needed to be more aggressive as far as like slowing the game down or getting them in foul trouble, he couldn't do that because he's not physically strong enough. So that was a glaring hole in his game that I saw, was that he's not physically strong enough to I would say to be as effective as he can be with his size. And also it showed a hole in his passing game too, because if you can't get to the hole, like we saw Giannis not yesterday, 2 days ago, when they played Boston, Giannis couldn't really, he was having a bad shooting night, but his passing has improved so much, like he was controlling the game with passing. And granted, Kevin Durant don't got the supporting cash Giannis got, but it's still ways if you're supposed to be that good. I've seen a lot of greats do it, beat teams that they wasn't supposed to beat by themselves, especially if with a person like LeBron still in the league when they try to compare y'all to.
Right.
It just shows that it's levels to this. LeBron on that is levels to this. Plain and simple. But KD, it's a blemish. He can shake back, but like we was talking about earlier, he's 34. Is the last? Is KD getting any better at 34? Like, what can he do to improve? That's the big question going forward.
Right, and that's and to that point too. Number one, as far as K's legacy, this is a blemish on his legacy because you got the team that you wanted. You got your boys with you. You got Kyrie. You got James. Now James didn't really hold up the end of his part of the bargain. You know what I'm saying? Like and I talked about this last pod where he just didn't show up in shape. Never played his way into shape. He had a good stretch in the beginning of the season, but as the season went on, K got hurt. He wasn't full time. Yeah, it just never did materialize. On top of the Ben Simmons thing, I understand everybody needs pieces. The others, players, role players, just don't matter what you do, you need a solid team. It just doesn't look like Brooklyn was actually set. And so with that being said, I actually have to pick a new winner to come out of the East. And so I'll do that a little later on in the show.
You picked Brooklyn to come out of the East?
Yeah, I have. I wanted to see Brooklyn and Phoenix. Like that's what I wanted to see in the finals. Personally speaking, I wanted to see Kyrie. Yeah. I want to see Kyrie versus Chris Paul. Like that's what I really wanted to see as far as like a point guard matchup. But I do have to pick a new winner out of the East, but I'll do that a little later on in the show. And especially with K being older, he's 34. Like he broke his foot. He's got the Jones fracture, and I think he's got like plates or screws or something like that in his foot. He's got the Achilles injury that he had in Golden State. Plus he got the ruptured calf, and then he had an MCL injury that kept him out, that sidelined him for a good amount of time this season, including the All-Star break. So and all these injuries are lower body. So at a certain point, we're going to have to start looking, and we might be seeing this series right here. In a nutshell, it could be like the beginning of K, like on the downside of his career. He shoots the ball extremely well, but 34-year-old KD isn't 30-year-old KD. So right. We gotta see what the future holds for him. On another note, also we're gonna go ahead and get Brooklyn out of the way. Kyrie's future. Well, how do you feel, and what's really going on with Kai? Because I think he is a free agent or an unrestricted free agent. But his comments sounded like he wants to stay in Brooklyn, but or in the New York area. Yeah. So what you think?
Well, he wants to stay in Brooklyn because he get that supermax. He can get that supermax, and I think it's 5 for $246. So he definitely gonna opt out of his contract right now. He gonna opt out of there, try to get them to sign for that supermax. But Brooklyn, like they in a weird spot because like KD 34, Kyrie is I'm 29, so Kyrie is we say maybe he's 29, so he should be 30. And then the Ben situation, I'm just going to talk about that too in a little bit, but it's a whole bunch of question marks. So who are we building to win a championship now, or are we like trying to get some pieces to potentially win in like maybe if KD could hold it maybe 3 years or something like that? Like what way do you want to go? And then can you trust Kyrie to be there for every game with the how he do his own thing. So he could retire tomorrow and not care.
Yeah.
So they
sign an extension tomorrow and retire.
Right. So they trying to figure that out. And the thing is, they team got so they don't have enough pieces at all. So they got to do something to get pieces there, and they don't have the cap space to really sign nobody because they got Ben, Kyrie, and KD. They all making 30 plus million.
Yeah.
So and Joe Harris got a nice size contract too. So your biggest trade asset, in my opinion, is Kyrie. He's the only 30. Still got some years on him. He's talented, obviously super talented. And because KD is your centerpiece. He's your big joker. Kyrie your other joker. He your little joker. So so you can get some more for him, I believe, than Ben because of the Ben situation that he got going on. And Kyrie, it's so up in the air because they about to get a new coach. I'm convinced they gonna get a new coach and do away with Steve Nash because they ain't respect him as a coach anyway. First of all, before he got there, they was like, we can coach ourselves. We don't need a coach.
Exactly.
So that's when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, that's dead. He ain't gonna last long.
Yeah.
So they gonna get a new coach. They need a whole new roster because they bigs, all they bigs suck. All the other guards just too little and don't play defense. And then the Ben thing, Ben might be gone for another year dealing with his mental issue and his back issue. But we don't know how.
I just want to know, what did he do? I just want to know, what did you do? Like,
right.
Were you in a car accident? Did you get in a fight and somebody like punched you in your joint? Like,
so
what happened?
so Ben, I got a theory. I believe mentally he still ain't got over what happened in game, whether it was 7 against Hawks. Mentally, he still hasn't gotten over that.
Agreed.
And I think the reason why is because once Doc and B pretty much blamed him for it, even though he kind of subconsciously knew it was his fault, once they blamed him for it, even though I don't blame him for it because it was your fault.
It was your fault.
And you were the superstar. They blamed him for it, but he needed somebody to like kind of not coddle him, but he needed some support in that situation instead of getting blamed. So once he got blamed, I was like, all right, they're gonna have to get rid of him. Yeah. So what they should have did was they should have traded him way faster than what they did, because by holding on to him, that left his mind still in Philly, but his mind was in Philly. His heart was, I want to be somewhere I don't want to be here. So that held him back from moving on, dealing with the issue. Like if he would have got out there quicker, he was like, all right, I'm getting a fresh start. I got a training camp to do with another team. I'm practicing with them, blah, blah, blah. He probably would have moved past that. But stress with being with Philly and all that stress that he would have getting paid. He got a lawsuit against them. His back really do still hurt, or it might just be a mental block. But he got to get away. Number one, he got to get away from basketball. Like to get his mind clear, he got to get all the way away from basketball. So, and I don't know how long that would take. But then when it came to the playoffs, it was like, oh, people were saying he might come back. You never know. He might be at game 4. He should play game 5. And Ben all the time. But Steve Nash was like, he was pretty much saying, no, we're not expecting Ben to play. But he was getting other reports saying he's going to be ready for 4, he's going to be ready for 5. And that was conflicting right there. And what they should have just did was said, look, Ben is going to play when Ben ready to play.
Yep.
And I think that's what they should say going forward. When he ready to play, he going to play. Just leave the situation like that. But on the other hand, man, we got somebody making $30 million on the roster.
That's not playing.
This one we ain't never seen before. Somebody that's not playing with a mental issue.
With a mental issue.
Right. So now does that affect his pay? Can they write him off? Like this is the first time we ever dealt with a basketball player having a mental issue at this magnitude. Yeah. So this is a whole new arena. I feel like they're gonna have a lockout on this next collective bargaining agreement because they ain't gonna so many issues gonna happen.
For
And
for
yeah,
for go ahead.
Brooklyn in a bad situation.
And that's and it's really like a list of guys that you can kind of put together that's just not even playing, like, for one reason or another. Like John Wall is another example. Not hurt.
What's the difference between like
Not hurt. Just
he
on
don't get
just on the roster. He's not getting criticized, not getting ridiculed. The Rockets not really trying to move him. I think Russ loves the game so much that his pride won't let him just not play. Right. But I think Russ is another player that's going to end up on this list. It's a handful of guys that are in this. There's a handful of guys that are on this list of just get better or just get healthy. And to me, it should be no offseason for some of these guys, starting with Ben Simmons. Go see a therapist. Go collect your money. Go get healthy. I'll see you in the gym in the summer. Okay. Ben Simmons number one.
I think it's gonna take way more time. I think his mind is so, because I'm like, bro, we just asked you to play 10 minutes, and if you mentally can't go out there for 10 minutes because you too stressed out to even think about the game, you got some deep issues. He's gonna have to get away for a while.
I honestly don't expect to see Ben Simmons on the floor until the calendar year 2023. I'll be honest with you, because if his back is seriously that injured on top of mental issues, and we can never judge somebody for mental issues. Us as black men, like, we go through things and we just don't speak on them to nobody about anything. Like, we just encase them. You multiply that with Ben Simmons, who's been in the basketball circle highlight. We saw his high school tapes whenever he was still overseas in Australia. So, and then by the time he got to Florida, he was a household name. Like, we knew of Ben Simmons. By the time he got to BR, we were in BR whenever he got there. It was the hype train.
And Leonard Fournette show.
Ben Simmons and Alex Lang, the baseball player.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it was all of, like, it was LSU Kingdom. But my list of guys that really just need to go figure it out, go get better, just whatever you got to do. Ben Simmons, your offseason special program should have started as soon as Brooklyn got swept up. Number 2, Zion. I know I'm kind of skipping all over the place here, but we're gonna get back to this list in a second. Yeah. Zion, as soon as that clock hit double zeros, you need to go ahead and leave the locker room, dap everybody up. You don't need to pull off and jump on no jet. You don't need to go nowhere. You need to go right over to the weight room. Go figure that out. That's number 2. Number 3 is I don't like this dude, but you get paid so much money and you 7 feet tall, you got to figure something out on the opposite end. Rudy Gobert, go figure something out, right, please.
He need to just send him to the G League. He too sorry. He too big for that. He need to go. He need to be in the G League. He's sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like talking about people like this, but he's sorry.
Yeah, it's them 3 dudes. They need to figure something out. John Wall, get healthy. I know you've been cut on quite a few times, knee wise and everything between, but you need to go figure something out. You know what I'm saying? So, those are my guys. That Ben Simmons topic kind of like took me into a whole, like, down a rabbit hole, but it's interesting to see what they're going to do. And was Ben pressured to play? I don't think he was pressured. I think it was bait more so. Like, yeah, I'll probably play game 3. No, I'm not really ready to play game 3. Game 4, you just don't even show up to courtside because now people are really, like, questioning you and judging you. Even the biggest media market of America, New York City, like, those questions will remain as soon as you step into the facility come next season. So they're gonna ask your coach, they're gonna ask your GM, they're gonna ask your teammates. So it's on you. I hope you get well soon, get better. I would love to see Ben Simmons back on the basketball floor. 6'10", 6'9" point guard, like, craziness. Super athletic. Hope to see you soon. And that's all I gotta say on Ben Simmons. That's what I got on Ben Simmons there.
Right.
And moving forward to looking at the Celtics here, what I'm super impressed about with the Celtics situation, right? Jason Tatum is in the middle of his ascension. He's in the middle of his ascension into getting into, or he's right outside of those top 5. Like, he's approaching that top 5, top 6, top 7 group of guys that are just in the league. And whenever you say, like, those guys, like, you think of Bron, KD, Steph, Giannis, We know what Kawhi do when Kawhi healthy. Good Lord, we know what he do when he's healthy.
Right.
We know it, and we know what Anthony Davis do whenever he's healthy, and he got everything in motion. But Jason Tatum he's reached this point where I think you and me this might have been you and me that talked about this the other day, or it might have been me and my cousin. But he's, he came into the league. He was a little bit shorter for him. He was like 6'6", 6'5" when he came in the league. He's like 6'8", 6'9" now. So he's learning how to play, use his skills at a different height. So I can imagine that takes a little bit of time. Plus, you're going through a coaching change. But Jason Tatum is in the middle of a full-blown ascension. I love what they got going on. Everybody knows I'm a Jaylen Brown fan, but Jason Tatum, he's definitely that dude right now, and he holding it down. So what else you got on the Celtics?
Yeah, them two, just Tatum and Brown. Like, I'm just like, how far can they take them? They so young, 24 and 25. They probably two of the two. If you're going two-way players, I would say off the top of my head, I would say they're definitely two of the top 10.
Yeah.
You can make an argument Jaylen Brown in the top 5 with the Tatum top 5, hands down, two-way player after what I've been seeing. And Brown, you can make that argument for him too. I'm just impressed with everything. They composure, they shot making, they both got super way better. They took hard coaching from Udoka. He called them out. They responded on both ends of the floor, and I'm just impressed. I'm watching them play against Milwaukee. You saw their skill set. Like, they took over at different times in different ways, like similarly, and sometimes they show their differences. Brown uses their athleticism way more than Tatum. Tatum uses his skill. Brown uses athleticism, but then don't sleep on Brown, because when they needed him to go one-on-one ISO, just end games, he did that. He could do that too. And so when I was looking at him, I'm like, man, I was talking to my homies. I was like, bro, is this if these two, if we talking about just two players, I was like, they top 10 already. They didn't top 10 duos already. So I was like, they didn't already been to a conference final when they was 19 and 20.
Yeah.
And now they on the verge of going to another one, possibly NBA final. So I made a list, and I was thinking, I was like, one day would they be in this top 10? This was the list I got. No order. I got Kobe and Shaq. I got Jordan Pippen. Wade LeBron. That's 3. 4, Kyrie and LeBron. 5, I snuck Anthony Davis and LeBron on here just because they won the title together. I was like, and they was both Anthony Davis was playing his best basketball, so that's 5.
Yep.
6, Dr. J. Moses Malone. 7, Magic and Kareem. 8, Jerry West and Elder Baylor, because they got the 7 finals together. Like, people don't realize that they ain't winning together, but they got set to 7 finals.
You go 7 straight, it's nothing nobody can tell you.
And they were both averaging like 30 for like years straight to come together. Then 9, I got Stephen Durant. 10, I got Hakeem and Clyde. But my honorable mentions, 11, I had Shaq and Penny. Because they got to the finals. They only played, 4 years together, but they got to the finals. And then KD and Russ was also honorable mention. So I was like, could Tatum and Brown one day be in that list somewhere? And I was like, well, if they win one championship, they got an argument. But if they mess around to be 2 or 3, like, because them two boys is something different. They both, like I said, they both can take over a game, and they both can do it on both sides of the floor. So I just want to see what they're gonna do, what their future look like.
Yeah, both of them are extremely special. Like, extremely special. Like, and I said it before, I think they would be better apart, but I'm enjoying what they're providing for us as fans of the game and people that love the game. Like, I love what they're doing together. I think they'll be better apart, but so far so good. It's been a successful situation. They've broken up coaches and the front office before they broke them two up. So,
but you know what? They honestly might be what we wanted Kawhi or Paul George to be. Like, we expected them to be all this and all that. Man, they ain't been to a conference finals healthy
yet.
Right. So they might be what we hope that they that they was gonna turn out to be, and they too younger and they healthy.
Yeah, that's a fact. And so now we got the Bucks. Oh my God, the Bucks ended up beating my Bulls 4-1. Chicago ended up getting one win out of this series. I thought it was going to go 5. It did go 5. I thought we were going to win game 3 right whenever we first came home, or either game 4, but we ended up getting one. We ended up getting a dub, and I think we actually got the dub so early in the series, and that was by far DeMar's best game. I think it was game 2. It was game 2 that we won, because game 1, Vooch, Zach, Debo shot terrible from the field. I think they were combined. I think Zach and DeMar together were a combined 9 of 26 or something like that. And it just wasn't a good performance at all. We got missing pieces all over the board. We missed Lonzo. Patrick Williams came back literally like 15 games from the time he came back, the last week and a half of the season to the playoffs. He might have played maybe a max of 8 games. So in total, that ought to put him around 15 games for the total. Regardless, we're out of the playoffs. The Bucks advance. Better luck next year to my guys in red. You got anything on that one?
Man, I just hate that Lonzo got hurt. I wanted to see y'all with Lonzo. Like, I wonder if stuff would have been played out differently, because when y'all had him, y'all was on fire. Like, without him, y'all struggle guarding like on the perimeter. But I hate that he got hurt, because I thought y'all had a real good chance to get the conference final, at least the conference final with Lonzo. Even though y'all front court got the, front court situation kind of shaky, but I feel like how he played with the team, like, that could compensate for it. That could over cancel out the y'all size issue at the 4.
Zoe was shooting 43% from 3 at the time he got hurt. 43%.
That was probably leading the league.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he was definitely on pace. I mean, this is before he messed his knee up. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I would love to see Zoe back, but he'll be back next year. Zach LaVine is a free agent. Hopefully, Bulls brass does what is correct. Just get a man his money, and hopefully in a year or 2 we get a better coach. But that's a discussion for another day. Because Billy Donovan is not the championship coach.
Sign and trade LaVine for THT Westbrook first round pick.
Oh my God, I would throw up everywhere. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be sick. I would be sick.
Y'all will be getting a former MVP.
Don't want him.
Y'all will be getting a 21-year-old rising role player.
Our guard room is full.
He got long arms. You guys can put him on at the 3.
I'm cool.
Sometimes he can guard 3. Sometimes
I'm cool. I'll take a draft pick before I take THT.
I mean, the draft pick won't be till like 2028, because the Lakers don't got no picks. So
I don't want it. I hang the phone up immediately. This is the Lakers calling. Oh, Anthony Davis? No. Okay, goodbye. So like this. That's how quick that phone call is.
That might low key. That might be on the board, but we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah, that's another day, another time. But I mean, I think it's an outside shot that we get AD in a couple of years down the road. Hopefully, he is a healthy body for us.
Right.
So the Bucks advance. The Bucks move on. Chris Middleton actually got hurt in that series. He has a hamstring issue, and he is actually expected to miss this entire second round series against the Celtics. But currently, do you see any concerns with Middleton being out with this second round matchup of the Celtics versus Milwaukee that we have here? Are there any concerns that you see, as this series is currently, we're recording, Boston and Milwaukee wrapped up right before we started the show tonight. So the series is currently 1-1 both ways. Giannis had a dominant performance, but any concerns with Chris Middleton being out?
Dude, check. When you missing 20, 25 points a game, how you gonna make that up? Like, who gonna step up to get these extra 25 points that we need to win these basketball games? So they looking like, if we going out, can Connaughton give us an extra 7 per game? Can Grayson Allen give us an extra 7? Can Giannis give us an extra? Can Giannis give us an extra 10? Or can Bobby Portis even, like, now we moving him off the bench into the start lineup? Our bench already kind of weak.
Yep.
And if he get foul trouble, that kind of hurt. Then they're gonna be playing Serge Ibaka in a couple of minutes. And nobody want. Last time I saw him, I ain't like what I saw.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's a big concern, especially against the Celtics because they can score too. Now
Yeah,
this was this was a team that struggled to score, like how we about to get to. Well, I say Toronto because they don't score as easy as I think they do. So I say a team like Toronto. Oh well, Atlanta. We'll get to them later.
yeah.
If they couldn't score like a team that couldn't score like Atlanta, it wouldn't be that big of an issue. But playing somebody who got people that can two players that can go off for 40 any night,
Any night.
any given night, you need all the firepower. You need all hands on deck. You
All
might be
hands. Yes, sir.
you might be playing the best team in the East, if not the league. So you need your best players to be there. And I don't know how much we can hope that Pat Connaughton and Grayson Allen and
The
uh,
others.
yeah, the others, because I don't even know who else on their bench. George Hill left, but he hurt like always.
Always.
Yeah,
See?
can the others step up and get them extra points and the Middleton defense too? Like we forgot about that. You taking the extra defender off the focus. He can guard Brown and Tatum and switch with Smart and all them.
Yeah, he guard one through three.
Right. So that's another defender. So yeah, they are in some trouble, but I man, Giannis can beat them
Facts.
if they let him. He can beat them, but it's way harder without that Middleton, without the extra flow spacing.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard out there. Like that. I got in this matchup here. I think the Bucks they can win it only if Giannis averages 35 or more. Like he's got to average 35 or more in order for Milwaukee to legit have a real good shot, because Boston is by far, and I hate to say this as a Bulls fan, but Boston is playing like so well. Like they're playing so good on both sides of the floor. It's really you're going like you say, you need all hands on deck. You need all the firepower. You need all the shooters that you can get. Somebody that they could use, Duncan Robinson, full-time shooter. But maybe that's something that we could discuss later on in the summer. But
Milwaukee getting a white wing to add to their collection of Ilya Sova and Grayson Allen and
you know who they missed. You know who they missed this year.
Kyle Korver.
White Dante.
Oh, bro, I was so mad when they traded him, dog.
Yeah, that's who they missing this year, and like that's I think with Milton being out,
that's somebody they could have used.
That's the body that they could have used right there. So in this matchup, I got this one going 7. Celtics Bucks going 7. We definitely just need to see Giannis have 35 plus in order for the Bucks to win. If I have to make a prediction on this one, I got Celtics in 7.
Man, I thought Middleton was coming back because I had picked Milwaukee in 6. But since you said he ain't coming back, I changed my pick immediately. I got Boston in 6.
Yeah. Chris Middleton being out with his hamstring injury. That's such a touchy injury, and we're starting to see a little bit more of like hamstrings and calves and
a lot of injuries this playoff.
Yeah, a lot of injuries. So Devin Booker tweaked his hammy against the Pelicans, but he was able to come back. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, we're starting to see a lot of those muscle injuries instead of like bone injuries and things of that nature. So yeah, so Philly wins over, and well, anything else on Brooklyn and Boston and Milwaukee before we move on to Philly and Toronto?
Oh no, we can go ahead and get this next one over here real quick.
All right, Philly and Toronto. That ended up going. That went the way that we thought. I think it went a little longer than what we thought. Toronto outplayed Philly, in my opinion. Toronto outplayed Philly in game 3, 4, and 5. Joe hit a big shot in game 3 over there on the left wing.
Oh, yeah.
And which bailed them out. Then I think it was the very next game he came out. He had the right thumb injury, right thumb tear, ligament tear. Mm-hmm. He played bad. Toronto went into Philly. They ended up getting that game. And Toronto won a game on their game. They won game 4 on their floor and won game 5 in Philly. So Toronto, you still got championship pieces over there, championship guys, championship coach, really good, really solid squad. They don't have one of those guys though. So If they had one of those guys, maybe. But it's just not tough matchup. Tough matchup. That's all I can say. Philly advances. JoJo, he ended up getting like a concussion and a fractured orbital, so he's actually missing the start of this. He never should have been in the game when he got that injury. He never should have been in the game.
That's y'all boy. I ain't saying no name, but that's y'all boy.
You know, that's your uncle now. You know what I'm saying? So that's your uncle fault. That's both your uncle fault. That's Sam Cassell fault. That's Doc Rivers' fault, and that's on them. He never should have been in the game. He's already injury prone. So I turn it over to you from here on this series recap.
On Toronto's side, like they was overmatched. They don't have no superstars, so it was kind of two versus 0. So you had to play like almost perfect team basketball. Then Scotty Barnes, I like what I saw. He can do some stuff I didn't know he can do, especially with the ball in his hand. So I like what I see from him. Van Vliet had a bad shooting series, but hey man, he's supposed to be a piece, not the guy. So hopefully they're gonna try to develop. Look like they're gonna try to develop Scotty. They might keep Siakam, who knows, and probably try to develop a Chua too. He got some stuff in his bag that I don't think has been unlocked just yet. I think they want to test him out. So, they don't get free agents really in Toronto besides Kawhi. So they just gonna build around that team. Hopefully they keep nursing him to take a better job, a higher paying job somewhere else.
The Lakers.
Man, we want Mark Jackson. They want Mark Jackson. Yeah, they want Mark Jackson. My sources say.
Sources close to the situation.
Yeah, so Toronto they had a good season. They started off kind of bad. People didn't think they were gonna make it this far, but they got in the playoffs and they snuck 2 games off. That was good. That's a good season for them.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the Philly side of this. I'm gonna go this way. And B got hurt yet again because as you said, your boy Doc wanted to play him, and now he wonders why people question his coaching this season. So we're gonna speak on him defending his playoff record. I'm gonna speak on it. Okay, now I went back and I looked it up. Context is really needed. So when he said he was up 3-1 with that team in Orlando, I was like against the Pistons. Now he was wrong. The Pistons didn't win that year. They won it next year. They got to the finals and they lost to the Spurs that year. But they won it the next year. I went and looked and I was like, okay. He had T-Mac. They was up 3-1. I was like, he had T-Mac. Okay. I'm looking down the roster. Okay, I see Darryl Armstrong. Okay. See this guy named Gordon Gierchek. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I did some more stuff. Okay.
Did a little more digging.
Yeah, did a little more digging. I was like, wait, who's this Pat Garrity guy? Now I know I'm a basketball head, so I know Pat Garrity. A lot of people know Pat Garrity. And I looked at the minutes per game.
20 plus.
Almost 25 minutes per game of Pat Garrity guarding. I can't remember if it was Weber or I think it was Weber that year was on
the Pistons. Yeah, he was on that Pistons team.
I think that was Weber the year they lost. Yeah, so either Chris Webber, Pat Garrity. If Pat Garrity is scoring 20 and getting 25 minutes a game, your team ain't good. I can't even remember other people. I don't know if Stephen Hunter was on the team. I can't remember if
Scott Pollard was on that team.
Drew Gooden or
oh my God, Danielle Marshall was on that team.
Who else was probably on that team? I can't. Kelvin Cato might have been on that team.
Oh,
like players that you wouldn't believe T-Mac got them up 3-1. So I saw him get 25 minutes. And this last player, when I saw he was getting, I think, like 8 minutes per game, when I saw Sean Kemp was on the roster getting minutes, I said, I knew. I know dang well, Doc. You did a great job. If Sean Kemp was getting at least 8 minutes per game in 2003 with Sean Kemp, he was out of shape in 99.
The Sean Kemp?
Sean Kemp was getting.
Oh wow! I didn't even know Sean was on that team. That's crazy.
I was like, if you got to play Sean Kemp 8 minutes a game, your team was trash. So I gave him that one. then he pointed out the Clippers when I ain't go look at that. He was like, Chris Paul got hurt. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I don't really, because y'all was up when he wasn't hurt.
You let Josh Smith catch fire.
Right, you let Josh Smith and Corey Brewer shoot you out the gym.
Out the playoffs. Yeah.
It's your fault. So
Yeah.
I gave him that one. And then the last one, he blamed himself. So I was like, yeah, you're right. It's been you. So he was right about the 3-1. I gave him slack on that one, but he still has
1 and
terrible.
2.
Well, 1 and 2. Yeah. So he still has terrible coaching decisions at the worst times. Because I think this ain't the first time he had a player in the game like with a big lead and they got hurt. I think it was Embiid. He did it with Embiid before, if I'm not mistaken.
I think. Yep, and he had Embiid had the other eye injury on the other side of his face. It was the right. I think this injury is his right eye. That last injury was his left eye. And ironically, it was against the Heat. Like they had to play the next round.
The thing that got me the most was he tried to blame. He was like, "Well, Toronto had their people in." I was like, "That don't got nothing to do with your decision."
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
Just because they doing something stupid, I mean, you got to do something stupid. Well, they players was in. Doc, you're 30, but they started in. Doc, come on now. Don't
be better.
Don't look who you talking to. Don't do this. Don't play me like I'm dumb. Doc, you just said he was like, well, I was gonna call a timeout after he did the airplane thingy. I'm like,
didn't.
I'm like, first of all, he shouldn't have even been in there to do the airplane thingy. You just wanted to run up the store and show that, oh, I'm Doc Rivers. They beat us. We about to beat them down. Y'all talked about my coach and blah, blah, blah.
We need a dominant closeout win. You was up 30 and now you're star MVP player. I think he's going to get MVP.
I don't think
he's got a broken face and a concussion.
So now you're finna go home in this next round when y'all play Miami, all because you want to play around and play Embiid the whole game, try to make a statement, and then and I know you're gonna lose because your second superstar Harden was like, what's going on with this guy?
Oh my god,
he went from superstar
MVP,
to super MVP, superstar to super butt. Like, I don't even know if you wouldn't even probably put him in your top 15 right now if you just naming players. But he's like, he's been playing so bad. I don't know if he out of shape. I don't know if he hurt. I don't know if he don't care no more. I don't know if he want to be back in Houston with a baby so he can go to the club every night and then that'll make him feel better. I don't know if he out there hanging with Meek Mill too long, riding on dirt bikes tonight. I don't know what's going on. But he need to get it together. Because if they want a sliver of hope to beat Miami, he got to be James Harden 3 years ago. And he ain't even close. So, Philly, y'all be going home again early. You got the same result y'all got with Ben Simmons on the team last year. So I don't even know if anybody won that trade that they had at the midseason.
Yep. And speaking of James Harden, I in our before the pod talk, you had mentioned something like, when was the last time James scored 20 or more? The last time he scored 20 or more was on April 28th, and that was 22 against Toronto in the win. And
go find when the last time he scored more than 20. He scored 25.
Let's see. Full game logs. I got 19. We got.
I think it's something like 11, 15, 11 games, 16 games, something like that. Because he scored 25 points. This is James Harden, the two-time NBA scoring champ.
Right. Two-time NBA scoring champ, James Harden. He has not been able to really just score over 25. Let's see. 22, 13, 11, 21, 12, 18, 32. The last time he had over 25 points was March 29th, ironically, against Milwaukee. That was
30 days ago.
Yeah, and it was in a losing effort. He shot 9 of 17. So it has been quite some time since we've seen James Harden actually be James Harden. I personally, I think that he's out of shape. I think it's evident to see. His mind just isn't on basketball anymore. I think he's more so locked into the benefits of being a star player instead of actually just focusing on the game. Because, God, like this will make me sound super old, but the game was taken from me because of a knee injury, right? The game is only around for so long. Like, you only have so much in your body, like, that you can give the game, like, until either your body says no, or either to your point about Tatum and skills, your skills just diminish. Mm-hmm. So you only got so long until your body says no. So I think what James Harden is doing, I'll be honest, I think it is disrespectful to the game. he cheated the system a bit, drawing those cheap balls like he did a few of those
Oh my
quite some time, like he did in
him
Houston.
and his teammate. Don't leave Embiid out. He do the little same tricks, and he's 7 feet, bro. I hate watching Philly play. I hate watching them play.
It's disgusting watching Philly play basketball. So I think James is out of shape. I think he's been on the decline for quite some time. And it's interesting to see like how much he weighs to end this to whenever Philly season ends to how much he weighs to start next season. So that's going to be interesting to see. I would hope that he gets it together so he can. I feel like he got more in the tank. Is he on the down? Or is he on the decline or the downside? Yes, I do believe that. But his decline just happened so fast. I feel like his decline happened faster than Allen Iverson's decline. Like it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And it's not like we can point to injuries like with Brandon Roy. Like we can't point to injuries that Brandon. Like we can point the injuries at Brandon Roy and say his knees are bad, legs are bad. The game passed him up. You know what I'm saying? Or he had to leave the game.
Right.
AI gracefully got old. Had to leave the game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Derrick Rose, multiple knee injuries, ankle injuries, but he's still finding a way to be maybe better than James Harden, like current day. Like I don't know, but that's just me. Hopefully Philly can go ahead and get this together as they're matched up with the Miami Heat that we're about to discuss right now. Ice cold, Trey. What you got here for that recap, that of Philly and Miami and Atlanta. That's who played in the first round. Yeah, Miami and Atlanta was the first round matchup.
Okay, Trey got locked up. He got the clamps put on him by everybody. Jimmy, Kyle, Vincent,
Struz.
They
threw everybody in it.
PJ bodied him up on some drives. Yeah, he just got locked up because he's so little. Like the thing about him is like he's so little. I don't understand why they play how they play. Like I don't know if it's like why Nate allowed it. Like they just want to do high pick and roll. Trey do something. Like he's too small to dominate a game. Like just doing it because like you can easily. Oh, high pick and roll. All right, we're gonna jump him, make him pass it. He taking out the game because they don't have good enough players around him to do something with the ball to make you really pay for it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so they're not threats. Nobody else is a threat.
Right, no real threat to go off and heal you. Like I thought Collins could be somebody like that, but it seemed like they just want him. They seem like he's kind of just falling into a set of screen role.
Smaller Capella.
Right, Bogdanovich. He's older than he's like 31, 32. I thought he was kind of young. I thought he was younger than that. So I'm thinking he can be developed, but nah, he kind of is what he gonna be at this age.
He is who he is.
Can't do that, but they do have hope with the Hunter. I think Hunter can do a whole lot more than what he has been allowed to do or he showed. I think that's one guy who they need to really start developing if they want to keep the same kind of core together and have Atlanta be a major factor in the playoffs in the East. Because Trey needs to help. If it's not going to change his offense, because he needs to be doing more off the ball stuff. Off the ball, he's useless because he just either stands in the corner or stands on a wing. Like they don't use him. He don't run off no screen. They had a weird stat. This year he only shot, I think, attempted 24 shots off ball or off screens or something, running off screens, something like that, like off the ball. And they compared him to other people. Steph shot over 100 something, maybe close to 200. They just compared him to other point guards, and they was like, that's why they're so good and so effective, because without the ball, they're doing something. They're flashing, they're cutting, they're shooting. Trey just, if he don't got a screen, if he don't get no screen, he just gonna shoot a 40-foot three.
Yeah.
And that's not really a good shot. It's
not good offense.
Right. It's not good offense. I put it like that. It's not good offense. So Atlanta got some stuff to do because Now they gotta ask themselves, okay, Trey, we had what 3-4 years. Is he somebody? If we want to win a championship, is he somebody we can build around? And if so, how are we going to build around him? And I think that's a question that they need to ask. And if you ask me, my honest opinion, I would say no, because I don't think he shoots it well enough, consistently enough, especially from three or from like range, that you can make him your like
1A,
guy.
like
Yeah,
that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. I think he can be a third best player. I don't believe he can be your first or second best player and y'all win a championship.
yeah. And on to that point as well with Trey, it's interesting with Trey and Luka because we all remember the draft night swap. Because Luka was actually drafted by the Hawks, Trey was actually drafted by the Mavs. They did a swap that same night. I think both franchises got what they want, but who is actually up in this on the scope, like in between Dallas and Atlanta? Like who is really up out of in between those two? Because I mean, those both those guys are really good, but Luka does a little bit. Scratch that. Luka does a lot more. I'll say that Luka does a lot more. But once again, I think, and it's ironic. And I think as I'm thinking about this in real time, I think I've just solved it. Trey has a better team. Luka does more things. So I think if you actually still did a flip flop of those two, I think Atlanta would have the better team if Luka was in a Hawks jersey, present day.
If Luka was in a Hawks jersey, they would have been in the finals. They probably would have been in the finals.
I think so too. I think so too.
That's just how good he is. He like LeBron without no athleticism.
Yeah.
Without the athleticism, he like LeBron Harden like mix, kind of, in my opinion.
James Harden let Luka Doncic steal his whole swag, bar for bar, like like bar for bar. That's what happened to James.
I watched him. I watched him play. What was that yesterday? No, against Utah. That last one, the first game back against Utah. I watched him play. I was like, oh my god, like he got a LeBron impact, but he played hard. Mm-hmm. Like again in that series, he had like a LeBron type impact. So yeah. Oh yeah, Luka way better than Trey. Think about this. When you were saying that, I was like, they niggas got fight for each other. If Trey Young was in Dallas, Luka was in Atlanta, Trey Young might be a bust.
Yeah.
Just because how the team put together. Like he cannot carry a team like how Luka did. Trey Young and Trey Burke probably would be the same person.
Same, and Jalen Brunson. Like you would have had three guys that do the exact same thing.
Brunson would have been the same best player on the team.
Brunson would have been a little bit better because he works below the free throw line a lot. But yeah, you ain't lying. Brunson, Trey, Burke, and then Ice Trey. Like all three of them dudes would have been doing the exact same thing. And
Trey Young would have been a guy.
He just would have been one of them dudes. You know what I mean? He would have been happy to be at the 3-point All-Star shootout instead of being a Eastern Conference All-Star.
That's crazy. Starter, wasn't it?
I think he started. I think he started last year. I think last season he started.
Yeah.
But that is a real good point. Trey actually might be a bust if he was on the in the West. Plus, I mean, look at the guys he got to go against every single night. Dame, Ja,
Chris Paul,
Mitchell. You still got to see Mitchell. You still got to see Book. You still got to see Anthony Edwards.
A healthy Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal Murray. Like you're going to see some dudes. You going to see CJ McCollum. You know what I mean? You're going to see the young boys down in Houston. You're going to see Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. Like you going to see them.
You're gonna have to see Reggie Jackson.
Go ahead to see that man.
All right. I'm too far. I went too far down. I think I went too far down the list. My bad. Oh, we had Steph.
Yeah, the
and Poole
and the assassins. You know what I'm saying?
The Super Splash Brothers.
Yeah. So I like that. I like the nickname that they got now for Jordan Poole. Like they call it a pool party now. Like the Splash Brothers. Splash Brothers, and then like now you add Jordan Poole to the mix. It's a pool party. Like that's kind of cool.
I like Super Splash Brothers. I saw that. I was like, I like that one.
Yeah, Super Splash Brothers is
I
hard.
like that. That's one I like.
I like that. I like that for sure. So, Atlanta's out of here. This matchup here that we have in the Eastern Conference, we got Philly versus Atlanta. Prior to this, because we were actually going to record the other day, but it was my birthday, so I was out. Yeah, shenanigans. So
Out being a nice, wholesome young man.
out absolutely being wholesome
out in the community
and giving back to the community on my birthday. Whoa. And giving back to the community.
This is a PG podcast. Well, PG 13.
Just giving back. I like to see people succeed and get the things that they need in life. You know, sometimes that may involve finances. However, in this matchup here, Philly and Toronto, before we were actually going to record, I had Philly in 6 with Embiid out. And Embiid is supposed to be back, is scheduled, or they're targeting game 3 for him to be back, which would be the first game in Philly. This one here, I don't think James Harden shows up, and I got Miami in 5. I got Miami in 5.
Okay.
I got Miami in 5. I really do. I think Miami has too much scoring power in this matchup, because I mean, really, Philly just has 3 guys. It's Embiid, and he's in the same boat with Giannis. He's got to get 35 plus or more to beat Miami. So
I'm gonna stick with it. I thought the whole time, I was like, Philly, I think they're gonna upset them. I was like, I don't know why I got a feeling that Philly gonna pull off some type of crazy upset, but I got Philly in 6 over Miami. Like, I don't know why. I need an upset, and that's gonna be my upset. I think Harden might surprise us, shock us one more series. He might can pull it off. Especially with Embiid, I'm more confident in my pick. But I'm a roll. I'm a trust. I'm a roll with Harden. He used to be my dog. You know, we go way back. So I'm put some. I'm riding with him. I got Philly.
There you go. And as we slide over there to the Western Conference here, as the fourth quarter is actually about to start here in between Golden State and Memphis. I actually have, it's literally
tie game.
Tie game. It's 77 even going into the fourth quarter of game number 2 of Golden State and Memphis. So before we touch on that series, we're just going to touch on the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans. First, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take this one, as the Suns won 4-2 over the Pelicans. So you can go ahead and recap this one.
First of all, we're starting off with I would like my thank you from all the Pelicans fans, because we gave y'all a point guard that got y'all to the playoffs. So give me my prop. I want my thank you. And you're welcome. CJ did a lot for us, and now y'all see he doing a lot for y'all. He changed positions. He's giving buckets. He's getting some leadership over there in New Orleans, and they looking real good. They looking real interesting. They looking real dangerous. They probably going into the next season. They're gonna be one of the 5 most interesting teams, especially if when Zion come back. Because I think if he didn't get inspired by what he saw in the play out over the whole season and in the playoffs, like, if he didn't get inspired to come back and be a part of that team, like, I don't know, I don't want to hit, because that team is fun. They young, they got a young head coach who's energetic, who got a system, and he has a system too. I don't know what it is, but he has a system. You can tell they run different plays, they run different sets, motions. People get wide open shots. He puts the guard, he puts Ingram and CJ in good one-on-one isolation positions. Like, he got some plays for days, and they add some more pieces. Maybe they can find a free agent. They can upgrade the big spot with Val, upgrade that bench. They got some good minutes from all the young people. Nance, Alvarado. What that boy name is? Alvarado.
Grand Theft Alvarado.
Oh, hey, you on my list?
Grand Theft Alvarado.
he on my list, but he on my list. I don't like him, but if he was on my team, I would love him. He on my list of most hated players, but I like him because he on the Pelicans and he helped them win.
That's fair.
Yeah, they got the future is bright for them. I'm
Yes,
proud. I'm proud of what they did as a team, how they came together over. They started with 1-12, 1-13. Started the season.
1-12 made the trade for CJ, and that's how you really judge them from that point forward.
Come on, man. You start on 1-12, you already know. You thinking like the Kings. All right, what pick we get next year?
Exactly. But they still made the playoffs by the grace of the plan. They finished the year 36-46, still made the playoffs. Gave a championship championship contending team in the Suns a bigger scare. And I don't want to hear not Brandon Ingram. Devin Booker was hurt. I rock with Book. Book is one of my favorites right now, but the Pelicans still showed that heart. They still showed that grit.
What game that was it game 3 or game when they could have went up? They had them. Was it game 3 or game 5? I can't remember what game it was. But the Pelicans had their game and they let it go at the end. Like they would have been up in the series, but they young, they made some mistakes, they bad plays, breakdowns.
Yeah.
And it's just how it rolls. But when Zion comes back, this team they might be top on paper. If Zion come back with some move,
go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
On paper, they'll be top.
Come on.
Top 5 for sure. Maybe top 4.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for top 5. That's exactly what I was looking for. Because I think the Pelicans end up taking Utah's spot. I've had Utah blowing this whole thing up one way or another. And if they lose,
I got the Pelicans over Dallas. Dallas was number 4 this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
with Zion. I got the better. What it look like right now.
Yeah, and I think Portland will be back in the mix next year. I think they're gonna do something in order to get into the play-in. So, yeah. Actually, I got Portland will be back next year. I see it. They'll be back.
Back in the lottery.
They'll be
because our best player still like, hey, I'm here, but hey, if LeBron or somebody call, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna turn it down, but
is Dame running from the grind?
What is called? I'm not looking, but I ain't searching. I mean, wait, I can't. That was wrong. You know what I mean?
The last true soldier leaving the grind, linking up for a super team.
I'm not looking, but I ain't turning. I ain't running either. If that makes sense. So we're talking about we gonna be well, man. We're gonna be picking at the top.
I say this.
Look at these high school players, college players, real quick.
I'll say this. I know the Clippers will be in the playoffs next year. They'll be in the playoffs next year for sure.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Utah is going to end up getting slid out one way or another.
They're going to be with us. Down with us.
And the Pelicans are going to end up making that move up the ladder. All the Pelicans are really, really, really missing is somebody that happens to just average 20 and I don't know, maybe 20 and 10, maybe 20 and 13 at the best case scenario. He may be able to finish around the rim, a lot of dunks, highlight plays, blocks, steals, all that good stuff. I think his name happens to be Zion Williamson. So
do you know the last year he played when he was fully healthy? You know how many points he averaged a game? I was surprised when I saw it.
What do you average?
27.
I was about to take a guess and say 28. Oh, I was about to say 28.
You know how many points 27 is a night for an NBA player? That's a lot of points. You top 8, nowadays you probably top 5, top 6.
And he's undersized to play his position. So that tells you how good he really is. You know what I mean?
Bro, when I saw that, I was like, oh, they adding 25 points a game next year?
Look out. Porter's gonna be popping. Porter Street gonna be popping next year for the Pelicans game.
They don't call it Smoothie King, they call it the blender. I found that out yesterday. The blender gonna be
It is.
Tickets going up from $15 to $35.
That's a fact. If you did not enjoy them $5, $8 Pelican tickets while you could, and then you could, probably just walk down a little bit to a better seat. You missed out. If you don't know, then hey, you missed out. But next year, yeah, that's on your body. Charge it to the game. And so yeah, that's pretty much the Pelican side of things. And CP3 had a masterful closeout game 6 performance, perfect from the field. He was 14 of 14. We've never seen nothing like this ever in the long history of the NBA. So yeah, he finished 14 of 14, closeout win. You saw CP3 kind of getting kind of tired towards the end, towards the latter part of that series, but I think that's just due to age. Because Chris is what, 36, 37?
How old LeBron is?
LeBron's 36.
They the same age because he went to college. So Chris Paul might be older.
Yeah, so I'll just put Chris at 37.
37, yeah, 37, 38, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a sign of some things. Devin Booker, he ended up having that hamstring injury that he had on the chase down attempted block that he attempted to do, but he shook back from that injury. I've had to see him back. Booker's one of my favorite scorers in the league right now, and they advanced to play Dallas. My favorite part of the pod.
Oh, wait, before we get to ball, let you go ahead. Me and the homie was talking. He brought up Devin Booker. He said, "Think about it. Devin Booker is he the best shooter in the league?
Saying, is he the best shooter in the league or the best scorer?
Shooting guard in the league right now, Devin Booker. Think about all the shooting guards. Is he number one?
Yeah. I can't think of nobody else off the top of the head that's a true shooting guard. He's better than Zach. He's better than DeMar. I don't consider Clay a 2. I consider Clay a 3.
3 now, pretty much.
Jimmy
Butler, I consider him a 3.
Yeah, he's a 3. And plus, he don't score at that volume.
Paul George is he better than Paul?
He's better than Paul George. He's better than Paul George.
Better than Bill. He's better than Bill.
Better than Brad. Free Brad, by the way. Free Brad Bill.
He's gonna get out one day. And he better than Jalen Brown. So yeah, that's what we came up with, that same conclusion. We was like, dang, that's crazy. Devin Booker just overnight, like, our best shooting guard leave, he the number one.
He went from best scoring 2 guard to best shooting
overall,
guard. Yeah.
Best
and I don't think it's not, and I think we talked about this last summer. Basketball is becoming kind of positionless in a sense. And for Book to still have his defined role as a 2, and he's still doing the things that he does, he's the best at it right now.
Mm-hmm. Just making sure.
Most definitely. And so Phoenix advances to play the Dallas Mavericks. Salute to the Dallas Mavericks for going ahead and getting Utah the fuck up out of here. I absolutely, that actually slipped. I did not mean, oh my God, I did not mean to say that. But Dallas went ahead and got Utah up out of here. I'm so happy. I don't get a chance to see Rudy Gobert. I don't get a chance to see none of the Utah fans. I don't get a chance to see that sorry court that they play on. I don't get a chance to see those terrible jerseys that they play in anymore either.
Oh my God.
Because all their jerseys are just terrible. They should just go back to the original like mountain color way that they had.
What color are they supposed to be right now? Are they black? Are they orange? Are they blue?
Is that yellow?
Green,
like is that orange in the court? Like what do they have going on? I don't know, but it all sucks and it's terrible. And I'm glad I won't see that until next fall. And hopefully they don't put any of their games on national TV because hopefully that roster is just blown to smithereens. And hopefully Quinn Snyder, love yourself. Get well soon, Quinn Snyder. I see that you're having hip surgery, so go ahead and do your thing. Accept a new job. Get up out of there, man. Love yourself. Love yourself, man. So Utah roster coach move. I would hope, like I say, I hope Quinn Snyder just accepts a better job. I think he would be a outside shot for. I saw some things that said that he had some interest in the San Antonio job. So that would be interesting. I saw he's kind of like attached to the whole Lakers thing, but he wasn't happy with how Frank Vogel was let go of. Because literally, as they're walking off the floor, Woj tweets that Vogel's about to lose his job. That was kind of whack. But to be determined. I hope Quinn Snyder just move on, find a better gig. You're a better coach than what that organization has put forth for you. So I turn it over to you from here.
I can see Chicago hiring Snyder. Not Chicago. Well, y'all too, but I meant Charlotte. I thinking about Michael Jordan. That's why Chicago came out. Charlotte. I can see them hiring Quinn Snyder if they looking for a coach.
They are.
Yeah, bro. The Jazz. I can't do it no more. I put myself to watch some of them games, bro. I'm like, okay, Donovan, he was, Louisville guy. I'm a Louisville supporter. I can't watch them, bro. They just that team is it's bad. It's bad basketball. He's digressed as a basketball player. Number one, all he does is like shoot threes. And I'm like, Donovan, you wasn't a shooter when you came in the league. You never really been a real good shooter. All he does is shoot deep threes, and he shoot like nine or 10 a game.
Yeah, literally.
He's regressed as a basketball player. I know that they whole roster has Bogdanovich the only one that played some decent basketball this year. Conley been watched for 8 years. I don't know how he's in the league. We should have been cut. They should have been cut him, let him go.
That's actually the point guard the Lakers need is Mike Conley.
Not at this stage. They don't need.
But yeah, not at this point in his career. But they could have used him.
So bad right now. Like he got cooked by Jalen Brunson. You start getting cooked by people that come off the bench. Yeah, it's your time.
It's your time, baby. It's your time.
He's terrible.
Hang him up.
Royce O'Neal might be the sorriest starting player in the NBA. He brings nothing. He brings nothing. He's just a body when he on the court. That's all he is a body. And everybody's favorite center, Rudy Gobert, waste of space. 7 feet. Don't try to score, bruh. Maxi Kleber can guard him.
Cooked him.
They can switch Dorian Finney-Smith on you, and you can't do a turnaround hook shot. I'm like, bro, and the thing is, they talking about he's so good on defense, but he brings zero value on offense, and he brings no value on offense because if the other center shooting threes, which Kleber's gonna do, he gonna shoot threes. You need to be offsetting them threes with some points. And if Kleber mess around and get 12 points, 12 unaccounted for points, they're not expecting him to score 12. And if he score 12 and you only scoring 7, that's an issue.
Hello.
That's a real big problem. So you got to be punishing him on the end. That's why Shaq hates him so much. That's why Barkley hates him so much because he's 7 feet tall. He's soft as cottontail tissue, as Stephen A would say. And he need to go to the G League and get some skills. I don't care if it embarrasses you. You need to go learn how to play basketball. If you ain't gonna do it in the summer, you need to go do it in the G. If you ain't gonna do it by yourself, you need to do it in the G League because they pay you a lot of money, and you coming out there just blocking shots. Man, not in this day and age. You got to be able to do something. On offense. So yeah, Jazz. I'm tired of watching them. I hate that I put myself to 3 years thinking they was going. Finally, Quinn Snyder. It's his fault too. Because he be trying to play Rudy. Oh, we gonna stick with Rudy, but but can you blame him when your next best option off the bench is doing Derek Favors? You know what I'm saying?
Hassan Whiteside is your next best option as a big man off the bench.
And he the same player. He just but he the other way around. He all offense, no defense.
Exactly. So I mean, you're not getting money. It's even worse of a wash if you ask me.
Right. I would blow the team up, but I would keep, if I was them, I got to keep Donovan because ain't nobody trying to come to Utah hoop. So I'm blowing the team up, trading everybody except Donovan because I can probably get something for Rudy. I don't know in the 3-way trade.
And you can get something for Jordan Clarkson, but I mean, you gotta do something. You have to do something.
Yeah, so, I'm building around Donovan. I'll give him a try. I mean, Utah, you ain't gonna win nothing anyway. At least try to be entertained. Right.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So. Dallas and on the Dallas side of things here in that matchup, Dallas, Jason Kidd, he literally just he coached circles around Quinn Snyder and he literally just targeted their big men. He literally targeted their big man and said, Luka, handle the ball, attack the paint, drive and kick. I need my bigs, Finley Smith. What's my guy's name? 42
Kleber.
Max Kleber. We need y'all boys, Kleber and Finley Smith. We need y'all to catch these corners and like Gobert and Whiteside and Derek Favors and whatever other big that they have up because Luka's going to get penetration. He's too big of a guard. Like, scratch that. He's too big of a playmaker to put smalls on him. He's too skilled to put bigs on him. So Luka's just that dude. Luka made it do what it do. and and Luka and the Mavs, they end up playing Phoenix next. As much praise as I just gave Luka in this segment and prior to, whenever we compared him to James Harden, I got Phoenix in 5. Dallas might get them 1. I did not like how Phoenix ended that game last night because they were just kind of like they were just ready to get that game over with. I think with about 4, somewhere in between 4 and 5 minutes to go, Phoenix just let up off the gas. But you can't end no playoff game like that, no kind of way. I think Dallas gets them 1 win, but Phoenix ultimately wins in 5. What you got?
Ooh, I had Phoenix in 5. I might got him in the sweep now. Because I saw the game and I'm like, man, Luka really gonna have to be extraordinary to beat this team. I thought, I keep for some reason I keep like thinking Phoenix not, they not a 60-something win team. I keep waiting for them to be like, this Phoenix team is they just a team. They're not a real juggernaut like how they really are. But bro, they really that team like that. Like they for real, like they like that. And I keep waiting to count them out, but they prove me wrong every time. They a full complete team. Like if Booker don't got it going, Chris Paul take over. Chris Paul don't got it going. All Booker don't got it. They go to Booker. Both of them don't got it going. We going out of Aiden. He did some, bro. He makes so many of them paint one hand little floaters and turnarounds. Like I be like, bro,
that guy's good. That guy's good.
And like when he shoot it, and every time he shoot it, I feel like it's gonna go in. He just like he got a great touch in the paint, and it's like you can't stop all that. Plus, Bridges is gonna make 3. They had Crowder show up and make 4 threes after he went 17% in the last round. Cam Johnson gonna come out. He come out the bench shooting. Campaign played good last
full-time shooter.
Bro, like I keep thinking Phoenix not like I keep thinking I don't know why. Maybe it's just my it's something about them. I don't think they really that tough to beat, but like they really are that that bad. Like Phoenix a bad team, and Luka, you gonna have to be LeBron in 2018 mixed with LeBron in 2007 mixed with LeBron in
2016.
16, like beat them because
that was the last physical peak LeBron was 2016.
Combined with 2020 LeBron with the mind.
Yeah.
So, bro, this could his team, Luka team, his second and third best player ain't as good as the other team's second and third best player.
Not even close.
So for them to even come close to winning, he got to be spectacular. That 45 he had and whatever, he gonna have to have 40 every single game
just to have a shot.
Right.
And just like how we did the comparison of best roster of Brooklyn to Boston, and how Brooklyn has at that point prior to that series, KD was the best player going into that matchup. Jason Tatum clearly the number 2.
You would say Kyrie probably number 3.
Kyrie probably number 3, Jaylen Brown number 4, and then the next
all Brooklyn.
5 is all Boston.
All Boston.
And that's kind of what you can do here. Like maybe Luka actually may be the actual best player. Maybe. But the next 7 spots belong to Phoenix. It's like from Book to Paul to Aiden, Bridges. Because
then you might go to Brunson.
Yeah, then you might go to Brunson. Then you might go to.
But then you get Cam Johnson. Then you
got Cam Johnson.
Campaign.
Exactly. And to your point about Aiden, he's really like, I'm not going to say mastered because we still got to see a little bit more, but he's really like, how can I say? He's really honed in on that Tim Duncan turnaround jumper, not off the glass, but just like that box elbow turnaround. I'm gonna post you, okay. I backed you down 2 times. You ain't really moving. I'm gonna hit you with this over the jumper hook or either jumper. Like it's beautiful to watch, and it's super smooth. It's not forced. Like that Tim Duncan, Rashid turnaround fadeaway. Like he's got it. He got
that already.
He's definitely got it. Or shades of Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, like
Sheed,
you know what I'm saying? Like
Garnett,
Garnett. Yeah, he's really got it. He's really got it. So I'm impressed with his development. And this summer, I'm pretty sure the Phoenix Suns have a large bag of money for him somewhere in the desert. So
if they don't, somebody will.
yeah, and i.e. the Miami Heat.
No, the team he playing against.
There you go.
Boy, Mark Cuban write the check that day.
I promise Mark Cuban will cut the check for him, for DeAndre Ayton, and he'll go get Luka some goons, some bodyguards.
He forget the check. He might bring it in cash. That's how bad he needs.
Or in Bitcoin, because Mark was first on it. Was one of the first ones on it.
Man, don't get scammed. That's all I say.
And so that pretty much wraps up that series. And the last series that we have here that we just have to review is
no, we got two.
Yeah, we just a couple more series that we have to review. The Warriors played the Nuggets in the first round. That went by super quick. I think I picked Warriors in 5, and it ended up being Warriors in 5. Too much Warriors, too much firepower. Nuggets just didn't have enough. Joker can only do so much. I like him, don't love him, but I would like to have him on my basketball team. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just too much Warriors, too much firepower. Clay looks like he's coming back into form. Coach Kerr I think he's found his 8 guys that he's going to keep in rotation. So Warriors advance. That's all I got for that one. What you got?
The Nuggets, they was overmatched. All right, it was 1 versus 5. 1 versus 8, 9. However many Golden State was throwing out there.
Yeah,
it was just too much shooting, too much everything for the Nuggets. But they'll be next year. They got it's gonna be a year for the Nuggets because they got to see if Murray gonna come back healthy, see if your boy Porter gonna come back healthy. They don't have much money either because they money ain't tied up in the 4 people between Jokic, Gordon, Porter, and Jamal. That's all their money right there. So they gotta figure that out next year. On the Golden State side, I think Steve Kerr, like you said, he didn't put his rotation down to 8 or 9. I still think he is misusing Kuminga. I think he should play him. I think he can find ways to play him more, get him more involved, because he brings a whole different element to that team, like with his youth and his athleticism. So I want to see him play him more. See him play Kuminga some more. They're gonna get Iggy back. He gonna always find his way in the rotation.
Oh, somehow, some way. And he's actually hurt right now. So
right, but when he come back, how he do. He good for some good 13 minutes a game defense, getting his hands on the ball and
a couple of key rebounds, lucky bounces.
Fast what's that called when you make the pass before the pass?
Hockey assist.
Oh, yeah, king of that.
Yes.
So I like what they got going with there. They playing the 3 guards together, and we put them 3 out there, man. They ready to shoot anybody out the gym.
Super Splash Brothers.
The Super Splash Brothers. So yeah. My only concern is they bench. I don't know if they bench can, they don't really get no production from their bench besides Poole. So that's gonna be interesting to watch to see how the rest of their bench comes into form as they go on to play the winner of the next series we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm. And then one last thing I forgot to mention about Phoenix before we got off of that topic. So something did concern me about what I saw from Phoenix and against New Orleans in the first round. They don't rebound too well. Nor do they actually play really good defense outside of Aiden and Bridges.
Well, Booker plays good defense. That's one thing that I like about. If you really watch him, he plays good defense.
And he does. But in that first round, he's playing against McCollum.
Yeah.
And CJ, I don't think CJ really had too many 20-point games in that 6-game series.
He had a rough shooting.
Yeah, CJ had a bit of a slump in that series, but I think going forward, if that's something that Phoenix can address, and they can always put more bodies out there. They have a couple other guys that they can put out there as far as rebounding power is concerned. But That's just something that I forgot to mention in regards to them. And do we have anything else on Golden State before we wrap up with them?
Nah, I'm ready to get to this last one.
All right, and that last matchup there that we had in the first round of the NBA playoffs was by far my favorite. And like I said in the previous pod, I think that this matchup between the Wolves and the Grizzlies may have been a preview of the two guys in the West for years to go forward, in Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, as I call him. So Ant is one of my favorite youngins in the league right now. I love him. Cat and Pat Bev. My goodness. And where did D Russ go? Like I feel like I didn't see him the last like 4 minutes of the closeout game. Did he get hurt?
Oh, I don't know. He got sorry. That's what he got. That boy, he has been a disappointment ever since he left Brooklyn. He ain't done nothing in the NBA since he left Brooklyn.
Which is the truth. I was expecting him to at least average a concrete 20 in this series, but no, I didn't. I feel like I hardly even saw him. I didn't really see him make too many plays.
No plays, no shots,
no nothing, no hustle plays, no none of that. Memphis ended up advancing. They won in 6 games over the Wolves. And let me get off a little bit more hate. Karl Anthony Towns. You're not that dude. You're not that dude. The dude on that team is Anthony Edwards. They're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do with that whole situation because Ant he's only gonna get number 1 taller, 2 bigger as he's on this NBA workout program, and he's gonna take smarter shots and make smarter decisions as he gets more experienced. So that's that with that. I absolutely hated how Karl was blowing kisses to the crowd like he just won a conference championship and
come on,
like he's getting ready to retire. I absolutely hated it. And you gotta know the moment, my dude. Know the moment. Please, bro. Please know the moment. And that wasn't it, dog. That was not it. You're not that dude. I'm sorry. That's all. I'm not gonna drill Minnesota like I'd be drilling Utah. But I'm pretty sure there's nothing else to do in Minnesota besides go to a Vikings game or a Wolves game. So salute to them.
We go to the
Links.
Mall of what is it called? Mall of America?
Mall of America. The Mall of America Mall. Yeah, you can do that. I mean,
I was going to say Mall of Louisiana. It's all the same in Minnesota. It's probably.
Yeah, but yeah, they do have Mall of America up there. But that's really all I got for. No, I got one more thing before I get off of that. Didn't Memphis go on like a 20-7 run or 20-0 run or they went on a massive run to get back into one of them games?
And the coach ain't called no timeout?
0, not one. And I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, save your squad, save the team, save the homies. Like, you just over there just big cooling.
Well, when the ship is drowning and the captain doesn't know how to drive a boat, like that's usually what's gonna happen.
That's true. Yeah, that is it. That is what happens. I mean, the whole squad sank.
Bruh, that coach, he got to get up out of there. I'm sorry.
He looked scared. Like he legit looked scared.
He don't know how to coach. I'm like, wait a minute. Your team, number one, he had the worst shot selection shooting team I ever seen in my life. He worse than when the Warriors used to be like hot and just throwing up. His team is, if I'm overhead, if I get up a half court, if you're not on me, I'm shooting.
Yeah.
They got the worst shots. His team got the worst shots selection. He don't have no plays. They don't call no timeouts. I'm just about to get off on Minnesota. I ain't terrible, but I hate that. I hate how they play. Hate their best player. Think he hard, and he know he not. He know he not built like that. So
not even close.
What he said when they got to Minnesota? Like, we're in Minnesota now. Who's the cat? Come on now. When has Minnesota been a home court advantage for anybody? Name me one time. Even when KG was there, they was getting the brace beat off of them.
Blues. I remember I come from the Timberwolves when KG was sitting on the bench with his towel over his head because he got put out the playoffs by Kobe and Shaq. That's the Wolves that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Right, talking about
You blowing kisses to the crowd like you just won MVP or defensive player of the
y'all
year
lost in the first round of the
because
playoffs
of you. Because
in
of you.
a game in a game 6, not a game 7 that was close. In a game 6, and you blowing kisses like we just like we shocked the world. We
Just
never
do it already.
expected. We never in his mind we wasn't supposed to get this far. But if you watch how Ant operates in his mind, shoot, I think we can win the championship. That's the
Hello.
difference. That's the differences in mindset in between them two. That's why you gotta get up off a cat, get all you can get from him, because he's not gonna bring you to no championship. The dude that's gonna do it is number one.
Yep. He not gonna do it.
Yeah, Cat not gonna do it. Y'all done seen what y'all had with him. Y'all had I put him with Wiggins, nothing happened. Y'all put him with Jimmy Butler, nothing happened. So who's the common denominator? Cat. So he got to get up out of there. And more Minnesota slander. Pat Bell. Look, I can't remember if I said this the last podcast. When your team replaces you with the backup that used to be the backup that used to be a backup, like, come on, bro. You ain't that good. You used to start. Your backup, you was the backup for his whole career. And he came and took your spot. What they say about you? You trash. You out here just fake hustling like Westbrook said. Bro, I think I saw on Twitter. I ain't watched the last game. I think he had a chance to tie the game or win the game, something. And I saw somebody say he shot a step back free and missed it.
Oh my
I
god.
need to go. I need to go back. I'm about to when we get off here. I'm about to go back and watch the last play of the last couple of possessions of the game, just so I can see him miss it, and so I can laugh and be like, "Why did he take the shot?" Because he knows he trash. Pat Bev, trash. Cat, trash. Vanderbilt, trash.
Trash. Trash.
Vanderbilt's also, I'd be laughing when he played. I was like, bro, I don't know. You just have to get cardio. That's all he do is run and jump.
That's
So
it. That's literally it.
yeah. They need to make some moves because I want to build around Ant, because if y'all don't, he gonna leave because he's a superstar.
Yeah. And he gonna sign with Atlanta. He gonna go back home. Like I guarantee you, he go back home.
Knowing him, he trying to go to Chicago. He want to be the next. He want to race Michael Jordan legacy. That's how he think.
Yeah, like he one of them that just feel like he one of them young dudes that just feel like he can just go out and literally do anything. And I like that mindset, you know what I'm saying? Because he legit sticking to the script.
Oh yeah.
Just about being just like the absolute best. And I can see it. You can hear how he talk. Like you could look at his shot selection. You can see it, bro. Like you can see on certain people jump shots.
You can just see they got it, and he talked like he had it, and he always talked like he had it, but he played like it too.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So, and then on the Memphis side of things, there, Ja had a rough series. I think that's because they threw so many different bodies at him. They threw Pat. They threw Beasley at him. They threw Jones at him. No, I'm sorry, not Jones. They threw Pat Beverly, Beasley, and they threw a couple other like twos and threes at him too, especially on switches.
Ant was switched on them. They got the other little backup dude, McLaughlin, something.
Number 6. Yep.
Yeah, that dude.
Mm-hmm. I remember him. Baldy.
Yeah, that guy with the ball with the beard.
Yeah, that guy. Yep. So I mean, I think you can just contribute that just to so many different bodies, and this is Ja's second playoff run. Last year they got in because they beat the Warriors in order to get into the playoffs. This is their first full real run, and it's different. It's different whenever you go from the hunter to the hunted. Last year you got into the playoffs on the back end due to the grace of the play-in. This year you're the number 2 seed, so you're the hunted. So it is what it is with that, and I think Ja will be all right. Improving it right now. I'm not sure how far ahead you are, but I got 49 seconds to go. Memphis is up 102-99. So I think Ja is having 2 games in so far, but Ja is having a better performance so far. And do you have any keys for Memphis to? Well, do you have anything on Memphis and Ja before we go ahead and get into this current matchup of Memphis and Golden State?
I think it was just probably just playoff jitters. This year, I mean, against Minnesota, like I said, they was the favorite. They were the favorite, and you know, once you go from being the favorite, like you said, hunter to the hunter to the hunted, like it changes. So I think he just had to get that out the way. And Minnesota threw the whole kitchen sink at him.
Yeah.
Trying because they really this was their livelihood. This was they champ. Matter of fact, you know what? I take all that stuff back about Minnesota. This was their championship. We knew they wasn't gonna get past the first round, so they had to play their tail off this one.
Yeah.
So they threw all they could at Memphis, but Memphis prevailed. Ja made some spectacular plays to close out one of the games when he dunked on old dude and then just took over from there. So
all-time poster.
Oh yeah, that's on somebody's room right now. Already. Laminated. Dude. Laminated poster.
All time.
So yeah, for this next round, well, they're up right now. Looks like they might win this one, so it's gonna be 1-1. But the keys to me is that they have to continue to play fast, but play fast, but play poised. Because Golden State wants to run too, but if you're younger, you should be able to run better. So you want to keep that pace up. Golden State isn't really that deep. They are, but they aren't. So you can run them, make them tire them out. Y'all got young legs. Run Golden State. Try to get them off balance because they really kill you in the half court with Draymond's with the passes they do. That's when they really kill you. They dominate in the half court. They get a lot of easy shots and easy layups off in the half court. So you want to keep the pace fast. You want to try to keep it fast because you want to try to foul out them guards. If you got Clay and Poole and Steph all reaching in trying to get steals and stuff, that's easy fouls and that's time for them to go sit on the bench. So just keep pushing keep pushing the pace, trying to get to that free throw line. They got the size, they got the athleticism to guard everybody at each position. So I would just say that they keep pushing, just keep running. Tire Golden State out because Steph and Clay want to run on offense.
They
so
definitely do.
So they gonna run on offense. So you got to make them run on defense to wear them legs down, and just try to speed him up because Poole, he was a wild boy. He kind of plays
a bit reckless.
Yeah, he do get a little extra dribbly, or he try to do put a little extra sauce on it sometimes. So
you feel too good sometimes.
Yeah, so I would say the key to victory, push that. Just push the pace. And they'll have a chance to win, but I still got Golden State. And since they winning this one, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say Golden State in 6.
Yeah, I got Golden State in 7. It looks like Memphis is gonna pull this one off. Ja Morant just
45.
Say it again.
He has 46 at currently.
Ja has 46 currently. Oh, I see 46. It right now. Oh wow, 46. Well, 46.7 rebounds, 8 assists. He's Memphis is about to go ahead and close this game out right here. The key to the victory, the key matchup, and instead of me just going with like keys to victory, I got the key matchup. The key matchup is Ja versus Steph. Whoever gets the better of one another, I think that is the ultimate victor. However, Memphis still has to go through a bit more of they have to go through war a little more. And I think this is that final battle scar that they get before they're really ready to legit contend for a championship. So I got Warriors in 7. And then that sets up hopefully the next round matchup that we get, which is one of my favorite matchups. And the matchup that I've been waiting to see all year is Phoenix versus Golden State in the Western Conference Final. And ultimately, I still have to pick a winner over there in the East. I'm rolling with Boston to come out the East.
Big B, wait. How you do a B? I don't know. I'm not feeling like Big Dave or Big B.
So
they beat Nancy.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, so I got Boston coming out the East. I think Boston, they're just playing overall just better than anybody else in the Eastern Conference. Now, if Milwaukee wins, yuck. But we'll see them. But hopefully that that final matchup. I wouldn't be mad to see Boston play against either one of these teams, to be honest with you. Either play Phoenix in the final or the Warriors to play in the final. But we still got to get through this second round. Then we can talk about conference championships and then ultimately the finals. So,
right.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this episode here. You got anything else before we go ahead and wrap it up and shut it on down?
Nope, that is it from me.
Right. All right. Well, once again, I definitely thank everybody for tuning in to the show. You can tune in to and check it out. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Google Play. You can even watch on YouTube as well. So share it with a friend, share it with a family member, share it with loved ones, coworkers, all that good stuff. So until next time, y'all, that's it. That is the Perspective Podcast. And me and T will see y'all at the start of the next round.